Hi Pisces, welcome to your week ahead horoscope. Hi Pisces, welcome to your week ahead horoscope with me, Raphael from Radiant Reality. It's an absolute pleasure to have you. Thank you so much for being here. Thank you so much for joining me. Quick note, these readings are for your sun, moon and ascendant sign. So whether you're a sun, moon or rising sign Pisces, it's for you. Remember the general readings, not everything's going to resonate with everybody, and that is just fine. You should always use your own discernment. Before we start, as always, I would like to bless my decks of cards with all forms of love, light, peace, prosperity and abundance. And I pray that the messages that come through are ultimately clear and concise. They help you on your path to your highest vibrational good. So, for your key to the week, if you are a continued subby, you know Rafi loves you. If you're new to my channel, please don't forget to like, share, and if you should so choose and it helps and it resonates, hit the subscribe button. For your key to the week, you've got the Temperance card. Okay, so looking for balance this week in all of these different sectors, but also this is the balancing, it's not the Justice card, but I do feel like this is like the balancing of the scales. There's something here, whether this is an apology that you feel like you're owed, whether it's an apology that you feel like you need to give. There's something here that it almost suggests like you're balancing the scales out of life. Now, this card can sometimes show up when you get sort of sucked into something that has nothing to do with you. You end up playing piggy in the middle or the mediator, so watch out for that. But it can also show up when when we need to really step into more of a sense of alignment. So it's an interesting one for sure. For your actions and options, you got the Six of Pentacles. This, I actually feel, So as I said to you, I feel like this is an apology that you need to give. I feel like there's, and that's not to say, you're guilty or you've done something wrong. I feel like this is an apology that you need to give. The Six of Pentacles is, yes, it can be about, the financial transaction of money. It can also be the repaying of a debt. This is very much a card of balance or balancing the karmic scales. Very often the Six of Pentacles will show up when a karmic debt needs to be repaid. And because you've got the Temperance card, which is all about finding the balance with things, this does suggest to me that this week there is an apology, something that you need to do, something that you need to say, something that you need to give. And when you do, I think it's going to open up a floodgate of things to really start moving for you. This is an apology. Now, some of you might be listening to this and say, well, Raf, I think it's an apology that I'm owed. I'm sorry to say, but I beg to differ on this. Because the Six of Pentacles is in your actions, this is something that you are doing and potentially something that you need to do. So there's some kind of apology that you owe somebody. And this isn't about being in servitude or like, oh, I'm so sorry. And, it's not about that. It's one of those moments where you put your hands up in life and say, you know what, I actually probably got that wrong. And I just want to say I apologize for it. Right? It's not always easy. Sometimes it's uncomfortable because you're like, oh, I really fucked up there. If I had a pound, people, for every time in my life, I'd be a very wealthy man. Right? Jokes aside, in terms of the options that are available to you, you have the option or the ability to right a wrong this week. And I would say take it. All right, for your communications and conversation, you've got the Ten of Cups. And whatever apology you give, whatever conversation you have, it not only will go really well and in your favour, it may potentially bring a lot of healing to your own life as well. I both agree and disagree with the idea. When people say like, oh, if you hold a grudge, the only person that you're hurting is yourself. Like, bitch, you don't know any Aquarians then. I'm going to tell you straight up. I'm an Aquarius. I can hold a grudge till doomsday. And trust me, I'm not one of those people that will sit there and let it consume them. I will get on with my business. Go about my life and be quite happy. I'll hold that grudge till doomsday. Don't you? Trust me, honey, it ain't a thing, right? But forgiveness, and this is, when I say I hold a grudge, what I mean is For me personally, I'm the sort of person, I have a very forgiving heart. I can forgive pretty much anything, right? Apart from the four cardinals, and we've talked about that before. For me, the four cardinal sins are that there's no coming back for, that there's no forgiveness for. Rapists, murderers, paedophiles, and people that harm animals. Those for me are the four. There is no forgiveness after one of those, right? There's just none. Sorry, but there's none to be found, as far as I'm concerned. You may say that's not very spiritual, it's not very enlightened, whatever, I don't care, right? I have a very forgiving heart. I will forgive, but I never forget, ever. That's just who I am. Like, I can forgive you, but as a fact, and holding the facts, I won't forget whatever has transpired. So when I say I hold a grudge, that's what I mean, right? And so this week, I actually feel like there's a chance for you to bring through some conversation, potentially through an apology that you give. There's a chance for you to bring a lot of healing energy into your own life that's really going to advance things for you, especially when it comes to your work or your profession. When it comes to those of you that are studying or in some form of academia, that Ten of Cups is lovely, especially with the Six of Pentacles, because it's like you could be seeing some kind of advancement here that comes from acknowledging that maybe I don't know as much as I thought I did. There's a moment here of like there's a moment here of humility, I think, that really does wonders for you. For the same thing, for those of you that are employed by somebody else, this could be a situation that arises that maybe you've just been ignoring because you're like, you know what, not my monkey, not my circus. This could be a week where actually you go out of your way to help somebody else, or to assist, or even to apologise for something that might have sort of erupted on your watch. And in doing so, it really endears people to you, and it opens up a floodgate of healing. For those of you that are business owners, entrepreneurs, solopreneurs, people that work for themselves, this is a really nice energy for you, because it suggests to me that actually by focusing on yourself this week and admitting where maybe you haven't, like, and this is the thing, when you're a business owner, everything that you do is deeply personal, right? You love what you do and you think everybody should love it. And it's like, I put my heart and soul into this. Why isn't it successful? Why isn't it whatever? And the truth of the matter is, you're not doing anybody favors by being in business, right? It's a hard fact to accept, but that's the truth of it. Just like whatever you offer in the world, there are 100 people behind you that offer the same thing, right? Same thing for me. Look at me, I'm a tarot reader on YouTube. We're 3 and 4 a penny at the minute, probably about 10 or 12 a penny at this moment in time. You know, with the advent of now everybody thinks they can read tarot. I jest. But this week you could realise, actually, you know what? I could probably put a little bit more effort into whatever I'm putting out, or into what I'm creating, or to the services or the products. And the moment you have that realisation and you take that responsibility, bam, the universe is going to bring so many good things your way. All right. This is one of those times where it's like you got to acknowledge and accept that maybe, just maybe, it is you this time. All right. When it comes to those of you that are retired and no longer working, this is actually a rush of support that comes in for you the moment you admit that you need some kind of support. For your love and relations, you've got the tarot. You are. I laugh with the cards and I laugh with tarot so often because, you know, he really does have a sense of humour. Yes, I personify tarot. That's just how I am. It makes sense to me. I have a good relationship with the cards. You got a double hit of the Temperance card, right? Look at this. And so what this tells me is it's in your relations, in your relationships, your partnerships, in your familial ties, in your friendship ties. That's where this balance needs to be struck, and that's where things can really, where you can make a real difference in your life by righting the ship in some way, shape or form. If you are single, it's very likely to be either through some kind of study, potentially some kind of, like if you're single, through your studies, possibly through your work, but also very likely to be in a place that you consider to be spiritual to you. It doesn't have to be that you're at a church or, you know, something like that. It could just be that you're in a place that you consider to be spiritual to yourself. Maybe you're going for a walk in your favourite, you know, whatever. It could also be potentially that you're visiting a you know, like a doctor's surgery, a hospice. I would want to see something else here, to be fair. But my money is on those spaces. For those of you that are partnered, married, or in long-term commitments, it may very well be your significant other or whoever fulfills that role in your life at this moment in time that needs the apology. And I've got to say, double hit of the temperance card, you can't ignore that, right? And it's not to say like, oh, naughty Pisces, you've done something wrong, so you need to apologize and this is all your fault. It's not that. It's just, you know, an apology represents a specific type of energy. That frequency is what needs to happen for your life to move forward at this moment in time. Then you've got the Ace of Swords when it comes to your money and materials. This could be a financial contract of some sort that is potentially mutually beneficial, but it does need to be that. All right, like if whatever it is that is coming up this week isn't sort of good for everyone involved, I would find a way to steer clear of it. Also, it looks like you're spending money on your healthcare this week, whether this is you're getting a new healthcare plan, maybe you're finally getting life insurance, whatever the case might be. It looks like you're really starting to get serious about your health this week. And when it comes to your home and environment, for a lot of you, this looks like you're going to either start looking at where you're going to live next, or potentially there are things that come up around or with the home that you currently live in. It's a really, really interesting point. I'm intrigued by this because it looks like there is some kind of advancement in the home, but how it comes about will be very interesting. With that said, I wish you an abundance of all of that good stuff. Let me know in the comments how it shapes up. Take care, and I'll see you soon.